Hi friends, I hope everyone is doing well. I'm continuing with creating geometric collages. For this video, I'll be making 3 collages using circle elements. I cut the circles out already to save time, but I may need to cut more after I start collaging. We'll see. I brought out matte acrylic paint to apply to the grounds. Other than those supplies, I'll be using a glue stick and a scissors. So that's it. Let's get started. I'll be using Blake's matte acrylic paint in orange deep and yellow orange light to create an ombre ground. I'm starting to paint with the yellow orange light at the bottom of the page and work my way up. Doing the opposite is fine as well. You can paint in any order. I just happen to be painting the light color first. An ombre that goes from dark color then blends into a lighter color is pleasing to my eyes, so that's how I like to paint ombres. I'm blending in some of the yellow orange light to the orange deep to lighten it up a bit. I don't want a high contrast ombre for this collage. It would stand out too much. I want the paper collage to be the focal point, not the ombre ground. The sizes of the circles for this collage are 1 1/8, 1 3/4, 2 inch, 2 1/2, and 3 inch. I'm placing the 2 largest circles down first to figure out the placement, then add in the smaller circles. It's visually pleasing to me when a collage element trails off the page. It's a way to add movement along with an interesting design. I have already planned to add other circles on top of the 2 larger circles, but not overlapping the complete circle. Instead, I'm going to trim down the circle glued on top to create an interesting design. Since I'm going to cut off part of the small red circle, I want to make sure the pattern looks good when part of it is cut off. This second small red circle fits this criteria. I will still use the other circle in this collage. I'm happy with this design, so I'm going to start gluing down these circles. Next, start placing the 1 3/4 and 1 1/8 circles around the substrate. I'm being mindful of not putting the same color circle next to each other. Also, I'm being careful about the placement between each circle. All of this helps the viewer's eye move around the collage. This is an overall composition. It doesn't have a focal point. At this point, the collage needs another 1 1/8 circle to fill in the empty spaces. A dark color such as dark green will balance the collage. The collage doesn't need another red or dark blue circle. Also, I don't want to include another light circle since the ground is on the light side, so I don't think another light circle would be impactful. The collage looks good. I'm going to finish gluing down the circles, then have another look to see if the collage needs anything else. I think the two largest circles need another small circle, but on top of the mid-sized circle. I don't want these circles to be completely round, but cut off part of it to mimic the mid-sized circles. To get the circle to fit the curvature of the glued down circles, I use a circle template. Use the part of the template that fits the larger circle, then with a pencil draw the curvature. This is the finished collage. Let's go on to the next one. For this next collage, I'll be painting another ombre using Blick's matte acrylic paint in pink medium and red light. The sizes of the circles for this collage are 2 inches, 1 1/4, and 3/4. I chose a vertical design which will contrast nicely with the horizontal ombre. Once again, I'm placing the larger circles down first, but not gluing them until I'm happy with the basic layout. The design I have in mind is that there'll be 2 separate vertical sets of circles, with each one being different widths. I love the color combination of a pink ombre with black, gray, aqua, and lime green circles. It's bright and colorful. Again, I'm being mindful of the placement of each circle. I prefer not to have a circle in the same position but right above or right next to another circle. I like it when the circles are slightly at an angle to the circles next to it. Also, I'm being mindful not to place a circle with the same color right next to another one. I'm trying to leave enough space between the two circles of the same color so another different color circle can be placed between them. I like slightly overlapping some of the circles. It's an interesting detail to have some of the circles overlap and have some remain alone. Now it's time to fill in the tiny circles to reinforce the 2 separate vertical sets. I'll be gluing as I go because I can see where I need to add the small circles. I know that I sound like a broken record, but I want to reinforce to be mindful of the placement of these small circles. Look at the area that needs this small circle and decide what color should be glued there. If there's already a black and aqua circle, then add a lime green or gray. I like to work on one side for a bit, then switch to the other side, then back and forth. I want to make sure both sides look balanced, so I like working on both sides at the same time. Another way to make sure each set is separate but cohesive is in the color selection. Both sets have the 1 1/4 inch aqua and lime green circles, but the left side only has the 2-inch black and aqua circles. It looks good at this point. The collage has two distinct vertical sets. I don't want to overwork it by adding more small circles. Let's go on to the final collage. I'll be using Blake's acrylic paint in white and Paper Artsy acrylic paint in elephant, which is a good opaque gray. Once again, I'll be painting an ombre ground. I like how it's giving depth to the grounds and the collages. This ombre will go from gray to light gray. I'm comfortable mixing light gray as I paint. If you are not, mix enough or slightly more light gray paint that you think you'll need to use before you start painting. The gray is a bit too dark, so I'm going to lighten it up a bit. I don't want there to be too much contrast between the gray at the top of the page and the light gray. It would be too distracting, so the focus would be on the ombre, not the collage. This collage will have a large focal point. Instead of placing the whole purple circle on the substrate, I think it'd be more interesting to look at if part of it was off the page. This circle is approximately 5¼ inch. I used a compass, not a circle template, so the size is not exact. I decided that I want to use these 2.5 blue circles along with the same size orange circle instead of using this yellow one. I like that these 3 circles are the same value but different hues. If I had used the yellow circle, it would stand out too much and take away from the purple focal point. I also like how the 3 circles are not the same distance from each other. To me, this design is more pleasing than a uniform layout. I'm trimming off part of the circle that's off the substrate so I can see how much of it is in the collage. Using the yellow circle on top of the purple circle will help reinforce it as a focal point. Those are complementary colors, which is helpful as well. It's a good detail to have the yellow circle glued off center and partially off the page. It's mimicking the purple circle shape. Also, adding the small orange circle is a good detail. It looked a bit unfinished without it. The other 3 circles need a small accent circle as well. The collage still looks unfinished. I cut 3/4 inch yellow and purple circles to tie in with the large purple circle focal point. Also, these 2 circles contrast nicely with the blue and orange circles. I think adding these circles was enough of an accent detail. This collage looks finished to me, so let's have a quick review next. I have more collage designs using circles floating around in my head. I may make a follow-up video in the future. There is a video on my channel from last year that has a collage using circles. I'll link that video in the description area if you're interested in watching it. All in all, I'm happy with the way all 3 collages turned out. Each one has a unique design. I like how the ombre ground adds an interesting design detail to all 3 collages. I think having some of the circles overlap each other or have circles on top of other circles creates a good design. This vertical design was successful because each set of circles uses the same colors, but each one has a different pattern. This collage with a strong focal point reminds me to include focal points in future collages. I tend to create collages that have an overall composition. I hope this video inspired you to add circles to your collages. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video. See you in the next one. Take care.